Okay, so we are live right now, and I think there is an issue with audio. Okay, so the audio is not working right now. Hello. Yeah, fine. So I believe audio is now working. Give me a second. Let me just double check it. And usually, if you are able to see the video right now and if you can hear me, please give a shout out or maybe give a thumbs up or whatever that is, so that we can move forward. Again, I just have to confirm if I'm audible or not, and I can see myself. I'm not even live right now. Well, that is strange. Am I not live? I believe I am live, and for some reason, okay. So the thing is, the stream is not live. Okay, so now I believe I am audible. I mean, I hope you guys can see me. We are live right now. And I just have to double confirm it because, okay, so I did receive a notification that we are live. And let me just confirm if I am audible or not. I hope you guys can see me. We are live, right? Yes, we are live. Fine. So I will quickly turn off the schedule if I talk about. And obviously, guys, if you have any questions, post them in the comment. If you want to join the Zoom call, the link is available in the description of this video, I believe. I'll just double check that. Yes, that is available. Yes, so live doubt session on Zoom. So obviously the goal here is, if you want to have a discussion with us, or I would say me personally, and you don't want to actually go into the comment section, don't want to type the question, you want to have an interaction one-to-one, obviously that is the best way to get started. I'll make sure everyone's questions are answered. In case if they are not, and for some reason I don't know why I'm not able to access the live chat right now, because I just want to paste the link here for you guys so that you can join the chat. Now, coming forward, one thing which I want to mention here is, we are going to have a discussion related to, yeah, we're going to have a discussion related to Java. A lot of students, if I talk about, they have this question related to Java. Is it good? Should I make my career in it, or like, should I invest my time in it? There are so many good languages which are coming up. So what should I do? Should I actually invest my time here, or should I jump into different technologies which are trending? So this is the goal which we are going to discuss here. Now, before I move ahead, obviously I have given the instructions. If you're watching this particular video, you have the live doubt session available on the Zoom, so you can actually right now interact with me over Zoom call. So this is going to give you a very good way of learning things. Fine. So I'll not watch myself right now, because that's the one thing which I can see. So let's interact. Let's discuss. And I've actually noted down a lot of important points related to Java. I've noted down a very important points related to Java, which we are going to discuss, with which we can actually understand what is happening. Okay. So that's the whole idea here. Okay. So first of all, let's start with Java. So obviously Java is an object-oriented programming language, and we have a separate video on that where you can actually learn about Java and how you can make your career in Java. But the question here, which we are going to discuss, is I want to make my career in Java. Layoffs are happening. A lot of companies are laying off people. I can see JavaScript is jumping up. I can see various new sexy programming languages are coming up. So what should I do? Should I actually invest in Java, or should I learn Java, or should I go for somewhere else? Reason why we are making this video is because students tend to get a lot of confusion. They get confused a lot of times for a very simple reason. They are not sure what to go ahead, because obviously you cannot go in future and see what is going to happen. All the industry leaders, if I talk about, they are going to say what they are using. So obviously if you go to someone who's using JavaScript, they will say go for JavaScript. I'll give you my example. We are building a product for our company, we are thinking of going with JavaScript. I'll have a reason, I have a different reason behind that as well. Okay, a lot of companies are saying, okay, you should learn Python. A lot of individuals will say, okay, you should stick with .NET. Because I had a discussion last week, I would say this week, I reached out to various people who are working in the industry. Some are working in big MNCs, some are working in startups, some are working in the Indian MNCs, some are working in the foreign MNCs. And everyone gave me a different answer. I asked, okay, I want to build a product. What kind of a tech stack I should be choosing? And someone said you should go with Java. Someone said .NET. Someone said Python. Someone said JavaScript. Someone even said you should go with PHP. So the question is, what should I do? I'm a student right now. I'm going to build a product for myself. So that for me, iteration is very easy. I can actually hire someone who can do it for me. But you are the person who's going to work for a company. So obviously, should I be risking my career? So this is the question which usually students have, and this is what we are going to discuss right now. So first of all, let's try to understand what is Java. Java is an object-oriented programming language. What kind of an applications you can build using Java? You can build mobile applications, which are Android applications. You can build server applications. So I would say all the server side processing, or I would say server side work, can be developed using Java. You can build desktop applications. With desktop applications, the applications which are going to sit in your desktop and can work without internet as well. The server side applications, or the web applications, or the web apps, which we call, they do not work without the internet. They need a centralized database. But can you build something which can actually run in my local machine? I don't want to build something very fancy. I want to build something like, I want to take a screenshot of my desktop. I want to record video. Like I'm using Zoom right now. Now Zoom is actually a desktop application working with the internet, I would say. So what kind of an application I'm able to build? So I'm able to build Android application. I'm able to build desktop application. I'm able to build server, I would say internet web applications. We could also build games using Java, using Java applet. Now, again, I'm not sure Java applet is still relevant, because these days HTML5 is everything. Everything happens on the web using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But before that, we used to have Java applets, which used to make some applications, interactive applications over the web. Now, this is way back of, I would say, early 2000 or 2005. So first of all, we understood what kind of an applications we can build. Secondly, let's talk about a very important fact about Java, which is it was developed and released in 1995. Today is 24th of December 2022. That means almost 27 years ago, almost 27 years ago. Some of you are watching this video, you are not even 27 years old, I would say. If I talk about myself, I'm a bit older than Java, but still relevant. So it was built in 1995. It was released in 1995. Why I'm discussing this point? The era of internet started around 1997, 1998. So the application which were built that time started using Java. Reason: Java was cross-platform. Before that, what used to happen, like let's say if I want to build something for Apple, Macintosh, I have to learn the native language for that. I have to make something for Windows. I have to learn the language with which I can make applications for Windows. If I want to build some applications for the server, I have to learn that particular programming language. Then I have to go for Linux. I have to learn that particular programming language. What Java did, that it made development of an application, software, or whatever you want to call it, easier by giving us the chance of shipping the code which was cross-platform. What do I mean by cross-platform? That means I'm going to write a code in Windows machine. It is going to work in Macintosh. It is also going to work in Linux-based machines. So this is very important as a developer's perspective, and this is very important as a business perspective also, because I don't have to hire three separate people to develop application for three different operating systems. You won't believe, Steve Jobs back in 1998 actually approached Adobe and said, I want you to develop Adobe applications for us. Adobe rejected that. Now, let's not go into the business side of it, politics side of it, but one of the reasons was that they had to develop using their native languages, which was supported in Macintosh. But with the inception of Java, that was no longer the case. So right now, if I build a calculator in my Windows machine, I can run in the desktop application, Macintosh, and I can also run in the Linux-based machines. The only thing is it has to have an installed version of Java. So because of that, big companies started using it. Major banks, major government organizations, they started using it. Secondly, since these big organizations, or I would say big companies started using it, government started using it, the developers at Java got very serious about it. And they started making the application, or I would say language, more secure, more robust, more simpler, because the customer base is increasing. Now, when the customer base is increasing, obviously the demand for this particular language, the demand for developers who can code in this particular language started growing, and it is still there. The reason is all the major companies, or I would say all the major big companies, have one or the other application, which is one of the major revenue generation source for them, still built in Java. I'll repeat. Majority of the companies, or big companies, I would say, are still using Java because the major chunk of their application, which is generating revenue, is built and developed using Java. So we have to understand why big companies are using it. First of all, it is secure. Secondly, it is simple to code, obviously. And third, the most important point is it is cross-platform. Now, obviously, if you have any questions, you can always ask those questions. I can see a lot of people are watching this video. So I'm available. Like, obviously, if you want to hop into the Zoom call, you can come into the Zoom call and we can have a live interaction or live discussion if I talk about. But still, let's move forward. So now the question is, which companies are, what kind of companies that are using Java? So I'll give you an example. Microsoft is using that. Uber is using that. LinkedIn is using that. PayPal is using that. Netflix is using that. Google is using that. Why? Because simplicity, security, and cross-platform. This is the major reason why this language is widely used. Now, let's discuss the question. Should I pursue my career in Java? Should I learn Java as a programming language? First of all, let's remove the brand. Java is an object-oriented programming language. So if you're going to learn the concepts of object-oriented, you can actually easily port to a different language, which is an object-oriented programming language. Secondly, it is highly stable language. The reason is, since it is being developed from 1995, so you can understand the kind of community it has. You can understand the kind of open source libraries it can have. So it has more robust, I would say, or I would say very strong community. Then, since major companies are using it, so it has a lot of backing of different people who are actually making a living using it. So if you learn this particular programming language, there is no harm. You can actually make some good career. Recently, I interviewed Ankita Chaturvedi. She was from the non-tech, and now she's working at PayPal as a software developer. And I asked her, and she mentioned that she is actually developing applications using Java in PayPal right now. So this is something which I've confirmed. So ultimately, I would like to conclude here is, if you're going to learn Java, it is not going to affect you. It is going to only help you. Now, you may ask this question, like, it is a very old programming language. It is like, I would not say it is 500 years old, but it is a old programming language. Will it be relevant in future? That's the biggest question. Well, the answer is obviously it is going to stay relevant, because obviously if I talk about C, C++, they are way older than Java, but they are still relevant. It may not be relevant for early stage startup, but yes, gradually when a company scales, obviously they cannot stick to just one language. They have to use multiple languages. Reason, it is easy to find resources for all different languages. Secondly, all languages have one pro and one con. So if you can take advantage of the pros part of it, obviously that is going to give you the advantage there. So in conclusion, this is what I wanted to discuss with you guys. If you are planning to make your career in Java, that is not going to hurt you. It is going to only help you. But gradually, I would say start learning different technologies which are there, especially as a student. Now, if you have any questions, I'm open for that. Otherwise, we can close off our live session, because obviously I want to keep it very short so that you guys can take a big learning out of it. Fine. So let's do one thing. If you have any questions, you can post that in the comment, or we will make sure that your questions are answered there. I will be coming back live next Saturday, same time at 1 p.m. I was bit, how can I say that? I was bit undisciplined with that, but I realized that this is something which since I've committed, I should be making sure. So obviously, if you have any further questions, you can reach us there. And with that, thank you for watching this particular video, and we will see you in the next one.